Guys, what's up? Somebody give me a audio and a visual check there. Make sure everything's good to go there. If you would. Somebody throw it in there for me before I move on. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright. Hey, Infinite, good to see you. First one in here. Heck yeah, baby. Heather Whitefeather, what's going on? G513 and the Hizzy. Robert Mitchell. May, what's up, guys? G. Meisner, what's happening? Christopher. David, Kathy, George. Good to see you, George. The Chosen, G513 again. Becky Nader, hey, what's up, girl? Autumn, Carolyn, Linda, hey, good to see you in here. Maroon, Douglas, Diana, sorry, don't want to mispronounce that. Toluca, hey, what's going on? Trish, what's happening? Alice, Paula. See if we get see my. Hey, Bean, what's up? Jack, what's happening? Real Life, what's happening? Annie, good to see ya. Oh man, Diana again. Hello, Stephanie, Julie. Okay, guys. Yeah, I just want to say hi there. Yeah, obviously, I'm just kind of making fun of myself there a little bit. In case anybody happened to see the live stream I pulled down. Yeah, in case you guys don't know, when I first started my channel, I did it on my cell phone. My whole, for the first 2 years, well, a little more than 2 years, it was nothing but a cell phone. A lot of people can't believe that because I was still able to pull off some pretty decent graphics, and I made it look like I was doing it from a computer. But I wasn't. And then I had an awesome guy, excuse me, Mike Sprawl from up in Michigan. He actually bought me this computer I'm using right now. It amazes me the generosity of people because, I never once even asked for anything like that ever. Never even hinted at it. And all it took was for him to find out I wasn't using a computer, and he sent a computer to me. Matter of fact, he sent me one that he had at his house, and it didn't work. He thought it did, and when I told him that it wasn't working, which was no big deal, I didn't expect anything. He went to Best Buy that day, and I had a computer the next day. It was crazy. That just shows you that there's more good in this world than there is bad. We just focus on the bad, and that sucks. But that's, that is kind of what was, that's how I, the evolution, I guess, quote unquote, of my channel. But I still am doing it just with my computer. I don't have a webcam, I don't have a mic, and I know that a lot of people can't believe that, but that's what I'm doing. Right now I'm talking to you guys from a TV tray sitting on my couch. So I have no place to go. I don't have a studio. I'm trying to get to the place where I can do that. I have an area where I'm going to be working on it, but I just, trying to come up with the funds and stuff for everything that would entail is a little bit more difficult than what most people can handle. But I say all that just to let you guys know what happened the other night. I was just sitting here and I was doing the live stream with you guys, and all of a sudden the table that I was using just completely collapsed, and my computer, my mouse, my keyboard, myself went flying all over the floor. It actually hit the stop stream button I have set up for OBS on my hotkey. So that's what happened the other night, in case you guys were wondering. That is definitely what it's ridiculous. So, and then, my birthday was yesterday. So I kind of just took a break for a couple days just to kind of back up a little bit. Okay, sorry about that, but I didn't mean to, freak people out thinking something was crazy or anything. Nothing was really going on except for that. So that's what happened. I thought you guys needed an explanation because of the way it happened. But that is exactly what happened. It hit the floor, and I got lucky enough that it actually shut the stream off. Because you probably would have heard a few explicitives that you probably wouldn't want your kids to hear. Thanks, man. Thanks for the birthday wishes, guys. I appreciate that. But yeah, it is definitely, it was something. It was something. So I was just making fun of myself there a little bit with the solar wind crashing into my world and just with my thumbnail there. You know, can't have a little fun every once in a while. Screw it. I ain't going to do it unless I can have some fun with it every once in a while. You know what I mean? Okay, so yeah, let's just get into what we're going to talk about tonight, and we're just going to kind of go over the regular what's been going on, but there's quite a bit going on, right, guys? I mean, we've been talking about CMEs hitting us and all that kind of stuff for, you know, coronal holes. We've had a lot of geomagnetism, but we never once got into storm level. We got real close, and we stayed real close for days. We just never actually went over that threshold. Which, you know, if it was to go over, okay, whatever. A G1 storm isn't going to bring us much, but increased aurora and maybe some upticks in earthquake activity. Okay, it's just not going to do much more than that. And, you know, so we're going to just, you know, talk about what's going on with that. Now, the sun has completely woken back up, just so you guys know. I'm going to show you guys the last week on seeds because on LASCO C2, the coronagraphs there for the past week, all that data got dumped back in there, and let me tell you something, the sun has been going, thanks Muse, has been just blam. I mean, all over the place. It is ejecting all over the place. And some of them look to be fairly, you know, hefty stuff. There's one that just happened just you know, a few hours ago that yeah, I don't think it's coming at us, but it does look like it was a pretty significant one. So we'll take a look at that too. So, but anyway, here on the Schumann, guys, obviously this is an uptick. We're getting spikes every so often here. All right, so if you guys have been feeling kind of bad a little bit, maybe, you know, a little moody, maybe headaches, those kinds of things. Remember, these are local tools, okay? So this does not represent the whole globe. This just represents where this tool is at, which is in Russia. So, and I choose to use this one because everybody, you know, this is the one most people are familiar with. There are other ones, but I say all that because when we see things like this, see these spikes, you know, if I can go back to the sun and show you that, hey, the sun might have been causing some of this, that's what I'll do. But short of that, I can't say that everybody's going to be experiencing the same conditions. Because the Schumann resonance will be different from your location. Okay, you guys have to understand that. You know, if you're on the East Coast of the United States, it's going to be different than what it is on the West Coast. So that's unfortunately, that's how it works. And there's really no global tool. So I just want you guys to understand that. So, and weather has a direct effect on this a lot, guys. It really does. Especially like in summertime where these tools are at. If they're having thunderstorms and stuff like that, snowstorms affect this quite a bit because of the receiver. Okay? So, I mean, you got to understand how the equipment works. You put snow out there on these receivers, it's going to change the way that it reads things. And it's definitely something that has to be maintenance, and they do a really good job of it typically, but there's certain things that they just can't help. So, but I say, like I said, again, I say all that, but, you know, we are having spikes. So there is stuff happening. So you guys can look at this, and I would show your doctor if you're having, you know, issues with that. I would bring this to them. They understand this, guys. They really do. They're starting to take this really serious, which they should. Anybody that doesn't know anything about the Schumann resonance really needs to research Dr. Rife and frequency. R-I-F-E. That's all I'm going to say. Just go research his name, and you'll find out how powerful frequency actually is. So, anyway, there's your Schumann update. Now, the Space Weather Prediction Center. Okay, I'm going to talk about some things here real quick, and we're going to start here like we always do. X-ray flux. Okay, this is what we look at for solar flares. There is a little bit of flaring, but also notice that the base level is kind of rising slowly. Okay, the reason is we have sunspots. Okay, we actually had a third one it kind of decayed. It really didn't do much of anything. But this one here, it's got a solid base on it, guys. That's not, this thing is going to hang around for a minute, I think. Luckily, it's rotating off, so we won't have to deal with it much longer. But this right here is why the X-ray flux is up, okay? And that's not such a bad thing. We need some of this stuff, guys, okay, to keep our atmosphere healthy. Geomagnetically, okay, now this is what we look at for solar wind and CMEs and stuff. You can definitely see that we are on the high end of normal, and we're staying there. Look at that, it just updated. So, what do I always say is perfect conditions? Right about a 3, right? Well, look where we're at. And why do I say that? Well, because we're not in the geomagnetic storm level, but we've got enough geomagnetism to block the cosmic rays, too, to help block all that out. Because we need geomagnetism to help block cosmic rays. You guys have probably heard me say the sun helps us protect us from the sun. We need some of the sun's stuff to protect us for when the sun explodes at us, gets mad, right? Hey, Axe, what's up, buddy? Bonnie and Soul, good to see you. Douglas, what's happening? Holding it down in the Bronx for me there, Angelo. Keep holding it down, brother. May Light, what's happening? Annie Sparks, hey. I think I said hi to you already. Hi again. Tam, what's up? But proton flux, guys, that's for radiation storms. Nothing going on there, okay? But we are going to take a look at the sun here real quick, and obviously, look, guys, we got another big coronal hole. Now, it is an extension from the southern coronal hole, and what that means is it's just a bigger coronal hole. The southern coronal hole is always there. So is the one on the north. They kind of vary in size and all that, but this is now directly Earth facing, so we can expect. Say hi to Nacho for me, Axe. We can expect some weather from that in the next 3 days, 3 to 5 days. Okay, depending on how fast the stuff is moving that's coming out of this. All right, so just keep that in mind. Now, also, we gotta, I haven't talked about the parallax effect in a while. What that is, guys, the parallax effect is when you're looking at a sphere, it's going to appear smaller on the sides. Okay, so if we're looking at a hole like this, if it looked this big way over here, by the time it got over here directly Earth facing, it would be about this big. Okay, so just keep that in mind when we're looking at this. I like to point that out because it helps us understand it. But again, this sunspot up here, guys, is pretty healthy. Look, check it out. It's really developed some good solid umbral cores underneath it, and this part of it was moving fast, which meant that it was pretty much unstable, and it could blow at any time. And then, let me tell you something, guys. There's been a lot of CMEs blowing off. We're dodging most of them, but that can only last for so long. So here's the Discover data, and I want to explain to you guys. Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this just a little bit different. I'm going to take you guys over here to seeds first, because I want you guys to see. Okay, we're going to start on the 20th. There's that big one. Okay, this is the one that should have hit us like on the 24th, and it did. Okay, but it did not get us into storm level, and I'm going to explain to you guys why here in just a few minutes. But this is the one that did clip us. Okay, it didn't directly hit us, and again, it has to do with angle and things. That's why it really didn't do much. Here's the 21st. More of them blowing off. Again, none of these are coming at us. Okay, these are of significant size, guys. These are not little babies. And then we'll go on to the 22nd. We had one blow off down here. Okay, 23rd, blowing off to the right now. And to the left. There was actually two there, if you guys can kind of see that. You see the initial one come out right here. Now watch what happens. Another one blows and it catches up. So that's, that's significant. These are all significant ejections, guys. Look at them. Okay, then we got the 24th yesterday. This one here was of really decent size. All right, you seeing what this is doing? And then we had a second one there, and then we go into today. Check out how big this thing got. I mean, that really kind of blew out there pretty good. So if we go to the 26th, I don't think we have any data for that yet. But these are every day now. Okay, what have I been... Hey, Bob, what's happening? I've been trying to tell you guys, I've been trying to kind of just walk into this slowly to the fact that we're going to be seeing CMEs every day. Okay? And, and unfortunately, there's going to be people out there that don't quite understand, or if they do understand, I guess they're just simply lying to you. I don't know. I can't say or speak for people like that. But this is what is to be expected as the sun starts to wake up. We're going to have CMEs every day. It's not even an understatement. That's just a simple fact. You can go back and you can look at everything. Okay? Now, the reason why that we talk about CMEs when we do is the fact that our magnetic field is now 25% weaker. Okay? That's a big deal. All right? Not all CMEs are going to hit us. And, we need to be able to call the CME what it is. We can't over-exaggerate this. At some levels, I almost want to underplay it a little bit. That way, when there is a big one, people listen. Okay, that's the biggest problem I'm seeing right now. Is there, we got people out there. Let me show you this real quick. I'm going to take you back to what I seen. And my jaw about hit the floor when I seen this. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And it was just so irresponsible for somebody to say stuff like this. Okay, now this was back on the 19th even, guys. Look. That's a slow mover right there. I'm trying to find the one. Yeah, I think this was the one. This is back on like the 18th. Now this one blew off towards the backside. And somebody showed this on Lasco C3, and they called it an X-class flare that was extinction level event. Do you guys understand what that means when somebody says that about this? I mean, really? An extinction level event. Wow. And that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm telling you guys that because I care about you guys. I don't want you guys to fall for that bull crap, because that's what that is. That's just solid BS. When somebody makes a grand statement like that, and they even use the wrong name, it was a CME. It wasn't even a flare. There's a difference, and this person didn't even know it. But yet they're out there telling the public if that would have hit Earth, that would have been an extinction level event. It was just, I got so angry about that. And that's also why I took a couple days off, because I was about ready to snap on these kinds of people. And I really needed to back off, because that's not what I do, and you guys know that. And I won't do that. But I felt the urge to really just really blow up about that, because it upsets me, because it affects you guys. And it don't affect you guys so much that's been listening to me for a while. It affects the newer people, because they don't know the difference. They don't know the difference between, an extinction level event and something that's normal every day, hardly anything happens type of ejection. Okay, those are the people that I worry about, because it'll freak them out. It scares them. So that's what I don't want you guys to do. I don't want you guys to, to get scared. I don't want people to feel that, because there's no need. That thing could have hit us right on the head, and we probably wouldn't even have hardly felt it. Our magnetic field would have bounced that right off of us. We wouldn't even known it. And that's what I'm trying to say. So I would caution, when you guys run into people that are talking about showing you guys something that, on this especially this particular tool, They show you something that's already happened or this or that, and they say anything on here that it's an extinction level event. I can tell you right now for a fact that anything that has ever shown up on these coronagraphs since they've been put up there has never seen an extinction level event CME. It has never been seen because it hasn't happened. Okay? So please understand that. I know I get fired up about that, guys, but it's because I care. That's the only reason. So we'll move on from that. Now, let me go to the Discover. And I showed you guys the CME that hit us. It did glance us, all right? Now, the reason why we didn't see much from it is because of the BZ, okay? When this CME didn't hit us at the right angle, okay? It's as simple as that. It never even, when that CME hit, it was like at a -2, I think. So what do we look for? We look for -6, right? So we never even seen it. That's why. That's why that CME really didn't do much. Not to mention that it was just a glancing blow. It wasn't a direct hit. Now, as you guys can see here, if you look over here on the end, the solar wind's the yellow, the density's the orange. So what you're looking at is a consistent downtick right now. Okay, and I'm not seeing anything to tell me that this is going to rise anytime soon until we start seeing the effects of this coronal hole, which will be in about 3 to 4 days. So that's what I want to know. You know, I want you guys to understand that that's actually what's happening here. Okay. Now, again, the sun can blow a CME, a flare, anytime it wants. It doesn't have to have a sunspot or any of that. But something else here, guys. What's also significant here is we're now seeing sunspots in the northern and southern hemisphere at the same time. If you remember, back in November, everything was down on the southern hemisphere. Then it kind of switched to go to the northern hemisphere, you know, late last month. Now we're seeing it on both, which means that we are definitely moving into a new, progressively moving into the higher sun cycle. Okay? That's what we're going to start seeing. And, so remember that the reason why we even see these horizontally anyway is because the sun, it rotates, and it rotates faster at the equator. The equatorial region rotates faster than what it does on the poles. So what that does is it stretches out the magnetic lines. And when those magnetic lines kink, what happens? You get these sunspots that pop up. Okay, because all these magnetic lines at the beginning of a sun cycle, they're vertical. But because of, there's a lot of reasons why they get stretched to go horizontal, but the driving factor is the rotation of the sun and where it rotates faster in the position that I'm talking about here. That's why they get drugged this way. And you'll notice that as we go further and further into the sun cycle, these sunspots are kind of, higher up. They're going to start migrating more and more towards the equator. And then when it's time for the sun to flip back the other way, that's what happens. It flips back the other way and everything goes back vertical and you don't see any sunspots. That's solar minimum. That's what it does. And then the whole cycle just repeats itself again. It starts winding back up. So, yeah. Hey, Vanna, what's happening? Okay, so here's our magnetic field. Again, sun's to the left. Everything should move from left to right. We do see some things moving from right to left. That's when you see the blues. But things are calming down. Okay, here's the density. Alright, this is looking pretty normal. And again, guys, like I said, conditions are actually fairly normal right now. Fairly quiet. At least where we're at. Now, I do think... Hey, VW, what's happening? Like I said, when we start seeing this corona, we're here in about 3 or 4 days, we're going to start seeing the effects of this. What's up, birthday? So yeah. So that's what we're going to be seeing. Okay. Now, if we go to, do I got anything pulled up here? Yeah. See on the purple, this is the other thing I want to show you guys. When you're looking at different gases, okay, that's what you're looking at here. This is the 195 angstrom. See the size of the hole there? Now, if I show you on the 211, watch what happens. Let me update that real quick. I'm going to pause that. We'll let that update, but what you're going to see is it's going to look bigger. Nice to have you, brother. Nice to have you. Tab P's in the hizzy. Diana, what's happening? Oh, while we're waiting on this to load, guys, Keith and Queen Brat. Keith's having some really, some pretty serious medical things going on with infections and stuff from his surgery in his spine. Okay, so anybody that you know, we need to be sending prayers and stuff is what I'm saying. But back to this. See the difference, guys? See how much bigger this looks on the 211? And it's because we're looking at a different gas. Okay, we're looking at a different part of the light spectrum. So it's not seeing the 195 angstrom. All this is seeing is the 211. And that's why it looks like it's a touch bigger. And, you know, essentially it is what it is. Hey, 636, what's happening? Yeah, Keith and Queen Brat. We got to keep him in our prayers, guys. Keith is... he's struggling a little bit right now, okay, guys? Seriously, it's not a joke. He's sick, and he needs any prayers sent to him that you can possibly give him. That's just what it is. I've been through the infection thing, guys, and let me tell you something. It is most. Hey, Mark, what's happening, Closick? It is one of the most miserable things you can go through. I had a temperature of 104. Between 104 and 105 for 8 days straight. Never broke. I lost 2 weeks of my life. I don't even remember it. And it was because I had cellulitis in my right leg. And it was one of the most horrible experiences I'd ever been through. And so yeah, that is a bad thing. An extremely bad thing. They put you on really powerful antibiotics, which, believe it or not, what people don't really understand, most people don't know this, that when you're taking an antibiotic, it doesn't just kill the bad stuff either. It kills the good ones too. So, there are some bacterias and stuff in our bodies that we need for digestion and stuff. There's something called C. diff. And what that is, guys, is we have to have a certain amount in our digestive tract of bacteria, and when you're on high levels of antibiotics, sometimes it'll kill that bacteria, and it'll put you into what they call C. diff, and it can kill you. So understand that. Something that's doing us really good as far as antibiotics and stuff, taken too far can be bad. And that's the whole thing. A lot of older people in nursing homes, they battle that C. diff a lot because they're going to get a lot more antibiotics than what we typically would. Anyway, I'm sorry to get off on that. I just want we got to focus on people that need it, and Keith and Queen Brat definitely need it. The prayers, that's where it's got to be. We can't do much more than that, But it helps. I'm here to tell you it helps. So, Aurora, northern, southern pole. Notice how everything just kind of, bam, there it is, right? Yeah. And then it kind of, bam, it's spiking back up, okay? And this is what we're going to see. We've got some geomagnetism that's going to stick around for a while. So, it wouldn't take much of a push to get us up into storm level. It just wouldn't. Here's the geoelectric field model. This is space weather's effect on our electrical grid. As you can see, the one over here they're still working on this model. That's why you don't see nothing here. This is a fairly new one. It's a three-dimensional one. So you're going to see higher activity around the populated areas. I want to point that out because that's significantly, you're going to notice it right away. Over here, this is one-dimensional, and that's why we just see kind of a blanketed thing, but they've got this model completed pretty much. It still works for what we look at, but this is space weather's effect basically on our electrical grid. You know, what it's experiencing, the kind of stress it's being put under. And it gives us a good data point to go look at if we're experiencing space weather and how strong it is. See how we get these little, flashes and all that. Now, Axe up in Canada, he's going to experience a lot more geomagnetism than what we will down here in the States. As an overall rule, people that live closer to the poles are going to see more geomagnetism. It's just what it is. Stuff comes in easier on the poles. Already showed you guys that. One thing I do want to show you guys is stereo A, though. Let's get you back to that real quick. Sorry about that. Gosh, how many screens did I go through there? There it is. Alright. So this is the side view of the sun. Okay? The Earth is kind of here. Satellite's here, right? Now, if you guys look real close, you can kind of watch. You see kind of like a clouded area here. That's because the sun, you can see it over here too. It had a CME that blew off to the right. See that? And it's really hard to see. Hey, Robert, what's up? So, yeah. That's blowing off that way. You can definitely see there was a CME there because you can even see the flash. Watch it flash right there. So there could have been a flare and a CME altogether, or it could just be a CME. Sometimes they're just bright. I mean, that's just what it is. But that's what you're seeing there. And that was a significant one. But I don't think it's coming at us, which is why nobody's really talking about it, which is fine. Now, this is the NASA model, okay? Also, I just want to point out, guys, there is a difference between the NASA model and the NOAA model. This is the NOAA model, okay? The same thing about the X flare extinction event. That they didn't know the difference between these two models. It just wasn't. It was just sad to watch. But anyway, you got this. This is the NASA model, and it hasn't updated since. Let's see here, the 22nd. It looks like, I think. Yeah, that's the one that fired off on the 22nd. It hasn't updated since then. I'm not sure why they're not updating with every CME. I'm not really quite sure. I don't have a good answer for you guys. I wish I did. I just don't. I don't have anything to go look at to tell me anything different. Right? But again, this is spaceweather.com. Go show them some love, guys. They do great work over there. But here, matter of fact, I'm going to put their link here. For anybody that doesn't have it, there it is. Please go look and do some research on your own, guys. That's the best way to do it. I'm just showing you guys, observations, and you guys can go research, and I try to help you guys understand, the way I think things work. But please look at it yourself. You'll never understand it better than when you figure it out for yourself, I promise. But anyway, this is a significant sunspot grouping. It really is. This is a decent sized one. It's not huge. I've shown you guys bigger ones. But, when these umber cores start getting close to each other, that's when the danger comes. It becomes very unstable. And when those cross, the reconnection times and all that kind of stuff, it'll fling filaments, it'll fling flares, CMEs, all that stuff. So, that's what we got to look for there, right? But, yeah. Also, this right here, this was something cool. That is not a camera effect. That's actually multiple mirages at once. It's a known anomaly, and it's happened. You can recreate this on your own. You really can. Just by making the conditions the same, very locally. You can, in a whatever kind of setting you want to do, you can do experiments and recreate these mirages. But that's actually what it would have looked like when somebody looked up at the sky. It's kind of crazy. You can research into that as much as you want. You're going to see a whole lot of stuff on those kinds of things. But that's just a really cool observation, I thought. Here's the aurora, guys. Check this out. See how it's still kind of daytime out? That's pretty cool. And then I'm going to show you guys this too. What's that? You guys know what this is, right? This is the one. This is where I show you guys noctilucent clouds. I told you guys they'd be going away, didn't I? They're gone. And that's exactly what we would expect. So, here in the next, few months, we'll start seeing them on the North Pole. So they're gone now on the South Pole. They're not there. And again, it's because of water vapor and all those things that we talk about. So noctilucent clouds is, it's the water vapor freezing around meteorite dust hanging around our poles. And it can help us understand certain things. It really can. It, lets you know, like these were 2 weeks late. Why? That means that temperature stuff was probably different. Jet streams were all jacked up. We seen them further north than what we'd ever seen them before. Well, we seen them more often north than what we had. They seen them twice in Argentina this year, and that's too far north to be seeing those things on a consistent basis. And to have it happen twice pretty close to each other was kind of odd. So, that's what happened. Now, 11 fireballs, any of us that's been with, listening to me for any length of time knows that is not a very high number. Again, you'll see people say, oh my gosh, 2 fireballs. We've looked at this thing and it's been over 200 before. So I'm not even going to comment there. The near-Earth objects. Once again, not much going on here. It would be ridiculous to think that we could catch all these, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you right now that they're not catching all of them. Which is why they get unexpected fireballs. Okay? And a lot of times when we're getting a really uptick in this, we're in a meteor shower. Like from passing through the debris of a comet, that kind of thing. Typically, that's when this number goes sky high, that's what's going on. We're going through the debris of a comet tail. We know when we're going to go into those too. It's predictable. Now, every so often, we'll get an uptick that we didn't expect. It's happened for sure. So yeah. Hey, Ricky, what's happening? Good to see you. So yeah. Hey, Julie, what's happening? Good to see you. Hey, Baker, what's happening? Dana, good to see you too. So yeah, you can look at this and you can see now lunar distance, guys. Okay, that's the distance between us and the moon. That's how they measure these. Now I do want to point this one out because this is kind of interesting. I find this really intriguing. We got this one that's going to pass us on March 21st. It's big. Okay, it's 1,024 meters wide. Okay, that's a big one. You're not going to find anything on here that's any bigger than that. And what makes it significant is it's passing within 5.3 lunar distance. That's not real close, but that's pretty close for a big one. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. I just think it's interesting. It's not going to hit us. It's just, I just think it's interesting when you see something this big come within 5.3 lunar distance. It's just cool to kind of research that kind of stuff out and go look at it for yourself and draw your own conclusions on what you think. And, yeah. So, yeah. Now, let's go over here to earthquakes. I was looking at this earlier, guys, And I have to say that it looks like the overall earthquake count is kind of low. It doesn't look like we're having a whole lot right now. Now, if we put all magnitudes, it's definitely going to show us more. But on a global scale here, hey Karen, what's happening? Bob Dobbs in the house. But on a global scale here, you can see that, it just doesn't look like we have a whole lot of activity right now. Now, these happen within hours of each other down here, almost 24 hours ago, really. Yeah, they're swarming the volcanoes. Yep, exactly. But you can see this stuff. When you start seeing them kind of on the same kind of fault line, same kind of area, similar size, I'm sure it's related at some level. You can go over here in Africa. We do see them here from time to time, okay, especially in this little area. I forget what they call this area, but we do see them from time to time here. These are, I think they're 4s. Are they 4s? Yeah, that's a 4-4. That's a 4-1. So, I mean, they're not chumps, but they're not, it's not going to knock you over or nothing. There's a 4-2 in Afghanistan. We definitely see them there sometimes. So, and again, if you look at the United States, which is what you're going to get when you look at USGS pretty much, you can see, there is swarming going on, but it just doesn't look like it's been very active. And that's just just kind of a glancing look from my opinion is all that is. I don't have any hard number to give you. I just looking at this, from looking at it in the past few weeks, this is definitely a downtick in what we had been seeing as far as the numbers that we've been seeing. At least that's what it looks like to me. So yeah. But yeah, so okay, now. Oh goodness, what was I gonna? I was gonna show you something else and I forgot what it was. Oh, here is the Noah's predictions here for the next 3 days. It looks like they're saying we're gonna kind of get really kind of quiet, and I really think here I'll be interested to see their prediction for the for the 1st and the 2nd of March. Because I do think that this coronal hole is definitely going to send some wind our way. And whether it knocks me on the ground, knocks my table over again, I don't know. But I don't know if it's going to do that or not. I hope not. But, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah. So yeah. I'm not sure if let's see here. Mark live, yeah, he's live. Guys, I'm going to be going over here and hanging out in the chat for a little while. If you guys want to come over here to Mark's channel with me, I'm going to, I don't know why this stupid thing is taking so long to load, but, okay. So yeah, let's go over here and give Mark a love bomb, guys. We haven't done it in about a week because I haven't been online. So, let's go over and show Mark some love, show him some, positivity, and show him what's up. Say, hey, we're here from Wages World. We're going to do a little love bombing. We're going to go hang out over there and listen to some good music. Listen to some, good comedy, clean comedy. And, guys, he's still killing it over here every night. So, I really would, just do me a favor and come over and hang out with me for a while. I'm going to be in the chat. We're going to, just have a good time and, be positive. Something else here, too. I do want to mention, I'm sorry, hold on a minute. I do want to mention Rip's channel. Rip's trying real hard to get his subscription numbers and stuff up. If you guys don't know who Rip is, it's him, Rip Curl. I'm going to have him on my show. I just about got my Zoom figured out. So, with all my computer stuff and all that, that's why I haven't had him on the show yet. I've been having a lot of crap going on with that. But, I'm definitely going to get him on here. He, preparedness stuff, I can't say anything other than, he's just awesome. He's got a lot of humor involved, too. So if you guys want to learn something and laugh at the same time, come over here to Rip's channel. Seriously. He will show you so much. My wife has learned a lot just from watching him. And you can see. So we got to support each other, guys. Go over and check out Watch with Wayne. Go check out Ron over at Emergency Management Associates. Him and Terry. They do a really good job. So please, guys, I wish I could put everybody's channel up here every time. I just can't. But please go, support our community here, guys. Nobody's going to push our stuff out. And if you guys can do me a favor and come back to my video and drop a comment, give me a like or whatever, it'll help push it out. I don't monetize, so it ain't about that for me. I just want people to see my video. But that's just, that is what it is. And also if you guys want to help me out, you can check it out. Check out my PayPal. It's in the description link. If you guys want to, in the description box, if you guys want to help me out there. I guess I could put it here in the live chat real quick. Probably should have said it a lot earlier, but again, that's not why, you guys know me. I don't like doing this anyway, but it does help, guys. It really does. I can't even tell you how blessed I have been since you guys got me to do this. It just has really made a big difference in my life, taking a lot of stress off of me, some of the stuff that you guys have helped me with. So there's my PayPal link. If you guys want to help me out, all's good there. If not, it's never expected, guys. Never expected. Please don't ever help me out if you can't help yourself. Okay? Please. I always feel horrible about that. So, thanks, Kathy. I appreciate that. So, yeah, guys. So, there's my PayPal link. And go check out all those channels. I'm going to go over to Mark's now. So, if you guys want to come over there with me, please do. And we're going to go hang out. So, God bless. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate that. I really do. Yahusha saves, and